Hey there, give me just a second here. Getting warmed up here. Laptop's getting breezy and a little laggy here. Give it a second. Come on. Okay, there we go. I think we're good now. Alright. That over there. I'm gonna have it like that. Anyway, welcome to Gunpla Building Live with me, DZ. Alright, so I have the Master Grade AGE-1 here. I've been kind of working on it for the past couple of weeks. Prep work is done. So now it's time to actually put this Gundam together. So for anyone new to my build streams, how I do this is the parts are prepped ahead of time. Panel lining, stickers, detail painting, I'll do all that ahead of time. So this is all going to be assembly. This way I don't spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours doing this, because otherwise it drags on. But this is focusing on assembly of the kit and what all goes on inside of this thing. So this is a kit I've been looking forward to. It's been on my wish list for a few years now. I've been trying to get one of these, and I finally was able to get a hold of one. So I got it because this is supposed to be one of the more well-engineered basic Gundam kits, and even through the process of prepping the parts and everything, I feel like yeah, it kind of feels like that. I have built the Master Grade H2 Darkhound before. There's a review of that on my YouTube channel from I think it's like 2 or 3 years ago. So the thing about the Gundam Age Master Grade kits that I really find interesting, and that's kind of unique to these kits, is they are kind of designed in a very modular fashion. Like, you work on the segments, and I mean that is typical on a lot of Master Grades, but it's kind of divided down even more on a Master Grade, on an Age kit. A perfect example is probably going to be the limbs. When I get to these, these are clearly separated into different segments, and you'll pretty much see this when I get to the arms and legs, that, like this picture here, perfect example, everything is basically a module. You have the shoulder joint, upper arm, elbow joint, sort of the mid, upper lower arm, I guess, and then you have the wrist area of the kit. These are all separate modules. Normally on a Master Grade kit with the inner frame and all, there would be an inner frame going all through here, but not on the Age kit. They're kind of all separated. It's kind of a little odd, and this is a system that's really only unique to the Master Grade Age kits, because I guess that's just the way they're designed. So in lore, I guess it kind of fits in lore. So anyway, the other thing, again, I want to mention people new here, is that I do build the inner frame first, because I want to do some pictures of the inner frame before I put all the external parts on. I'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff I kind of noticed during working on these parts here and prepping them that might be of interest, or just found interesting while I was working on this. So right now I'm going to basically just separate out these parts here. I usually separate stuff by color. I just find it easier. Like, I know where all my gray parts are, I know where all my polycaps are going to be and everything. So actually, let me sort my polycaps out here, because they are right there and there. A few things to say about the torso here, which I'll get into in a moment here as soon as I sort stuff out here. Again, I sorted out by color because that's just easier for me. All the old parts right there. All the I would figure only a couple of white parts on the here. So, all right. So in terms of the torso here, I did use my shiny new chrome markers to do a few details on some of these parts on the internal frame. Not a whole lot on the torso. They're really just these bent areas I kind of painted in because I thought that would look kind of nice. A little bit of detail painting on some of these parts right here that I did. And there, a bit of red right there. Boom. But you have the parts for the internal console. I don't know if you can see that right there. It has a very nice, for a Master Grade kit, it has a pretty nicely looking inner cockpit. Most of the time, cockpits in the Master Grade kit are pretty Spartan. This one's a little bit more detailed than the average, so if that's something you kind of like seeing in a Master Grade, then you will probably find this enjoyable here. Let's see, this is probably cat needs to go in here. This is for the neck joint, I believe. Music is courtesy of the, as always, is courtesy of the YouTube audio library to avoid any, or my best attempt to avoid any copyright issues on YouTube. I don't know about Twitch. Hopefully nothing will happen on the Twitch end, but you never know. I'm going to mute my mic because I'm about to sneeze here. Hold on. Yeah, you didn't really need to hear that. It's been unusually warm for December the past couple of days. It was warm today too. I have to turn my air off, otherwise as much as I try to adjust my microphone's like audio cutoff levels and everything, it still picks up the background hum from my air conditioner, so I've got to turn my air off. And because it's been warm today, it's kind of warm in my room now, so when it gets unusually warm, my nose starts getting stuffy, and it's kind of annoying. Hopefully, this build won't take me too long here. If I actually, get to the actual building here instead of just, stalling here. Let's see, this is, I put all my parts on top of the manual directions, which is good. Good. Let's see, this needs to go in here. Holy cow, if I can get it in there straight. There we go, and I suppose this other one's going to go on the other side of the torso. Get this in here. So this is probably going to be my last Gunpla. Well, I'm very absolutely certain now this is going to be my last Gunpla build for this year. I have no idea what I'm going to be able to work on next year, because, again, the funds for Gunpla is getting kind of tight on me. I'm getting kind of tight for myself again, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to buy another new kit anytime soon here, because, got to use money for real life priorities. But that's just the way things are. I'm kind of deal with it. This is gonna go in here. I assume it's gonna be this way, facing down. And this big block is gonna go on the back, like that. Alright, so I've already tested a lot of this stuff ahead of time, so I kind of have an idea of how it all fits together. This needs to wrap around this here. It's going to go like that. The detail facing in the front. Just got to work this back in here. Actually, I guess yeah, I should have put that on there first. It needs to be like that. Doesn't really stay on there. There we go. All right. And that. know these other pieces are for the shoulder. I've seen this type of shoulder joint before on the Darkhound. Just gonna make sure to put them in the correct way. I'm not even sure why the AGE-1 has this type of shoulder. It kind of made more sense on the AGE-2 because these were part of a locking mechanism for the torso. But there's really no such mechanism on the AGE-1 as far as I can tell, so I don't know why it has to have this, but go in there and then it kind of goes right in there and into a slot. It's in there. But I guess it makes it easier to swap the arm modules out. If you happen to have the, maybe it adds more benefit when you have the Titus pack on here, but over normal it doesn't really do anything. Alright, so I'm going to skip this stuff here and do this. So I do got my little Flip Asuno. He is just panel lined. I didn't do any painting on him. I did do a little bit of detailing on the inside of the cockpit. Very minor. A couple of red buttons, panel lined and everything, but see, did I put gold in there too? Or just, no, just the red. I just put red in there. Like I said, this is one of the Master Grade kits that kind of has a nice looking cockpit than most. I can't really get my finger in here to push them, and it's kind of get in there. I need something to push them in because I can't get my finger in here. My fingers are too fat. There we go. That's it. I'm just going to kind of pop them in here. See, this entire cockpit module will just slide right out like that. Pretty nice. It's a nicely designed cockpit. I do like it. And let's see what else. This, I guess I can probably just kind of... Oh no, that's not going to say it's going to be loose. Alright. This has to go inside of the shoulder piece here. Might as well just stick it in there for now. This side. This little thing down here. Now make sure I got the right parts in the right orientation here. It's gonna go like that. This is gonna swing up. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to attach it in there because it kind of goes in there like that. It has to attach. It has to attach to this here. Alright, so that'll go in later. I guess that's good enough for the torso. Well, you need to attach this piece. Actually, I can kind of stick this on here. Safe for me to stick on. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, okay, I'll just leave that off now. This is a little clear green A part. They give you a chrome sticker to put on the back of this. A little tricky to get that on there without getting it crooked, but I was kind of lucky with this not to get it messed up, so I'm just gonna stick that in there now so I don't lose it. But it looks really nice, and it is also, in case anyone was wondering, it is UV reactive green on this kit. If you want to light it up with a UV light, you can. It's the same sort of green I think they use on the Psycho frame for the Unicorn Gundam. This is already inside of the lower abdomen here. I think I'm just going to stick this on here. It's going to go like that. And I'll pop it back off later. I'm just going to stick that on there. Alright. This here actually goes in like so. I'm kind of wondering how this is going to work on the torso here. I'll figure this out later. I think it's about all I can really do. Maybe this backpack piece can fit on here. Somehow. Oh, this would go on here. Alright. This would be part of the backpack. This would go on top of that. It's weird, the backpack is like divided into two sections. You got this back section and this outer section. Or inner and outer section of the backpack. So it's going to look kind of like put together like that. Okay, and because of the way it is designed, it will kind of go up and down a little bit. Okay, that's what the polycap's for. Alright, interesting. Alright. Actually, I guess I could put the thruster in here. While I'm at it, stick that in. I think that's about all I can do for now. So either one. Alright, so the head. Where's my head parts? I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to actually put together, but I do have a few comments I can make about this. Man, I tell you, having a slight heat in December actually kind of sucks, because your body's just not ready for it. It's like you get used to it being cold, and then it's like all of a sudden it's like summer again. Really makes your body go kind of haywire. Right, I do know this is the neck part, even though I don't officially show it as being part of the head, but technically it is part of the head. This little polycap needs to go on the inside of this. Get that in there. Get it there. Got myself a new Molotov chrome marker, and I've been making good use of it on this kit. As you can see, just lots of nice little flashy chrome details all throughout this kit. I like chrome detail. And this is for the head. This needs to go on the inside of this part. That's just going to go on top. There's the eyepiece. They do give you a couple options for the eyepiece on here. You can use the regular foil sticker on top of this, or you can put the chrome stickers on the back, which I did here. But if you do that, you're going to have to paint the black in on these things, or find some way to do that, and I went ahead and painted the black in as best as I could. And again, UV reactive here, so get those nice clear green eyes, which I really like the look of, so that's what I went for. And then stick this on here. Well, maybe I gotta put this on first. We're sticking this on first. There we go. And I can put that on. I will say one slight disappointment is that there is no clear green piece for the back camera. You actually have to either use a sticker or paint that in. I painted that in with my new metallic green marker I got, so looks decent enough. And yeah, that's it for these parts. That's all I can do with that. Which, where does that go in? This part faces up. Okay. So it's going to be like that. Or I could turn it around so I don't see the light. Slight nub on there. I did use my razor for the nubs on the majority of this kit here just to kind of smooth it out. I didn't use it on all the internal frame parts because it's kind of unnecessary, but on the external parts I did. Okay, so arms. Left and right arm. That's the leg. Unfolded. I did paint little running lights on this kit. There's red, which should be left arm, I think. Sometimes I get the right and left mixed up. Yeah, this is the left arm. Okay. Just move all this aside here. The nice thing about this thing being modular is I can easily take it back apart again, or at least I should be able to in theory. This is the inside of the shoulder piece. Got to fit first. Now I gotta remember which piece is inside of which piece here. I think this one is the upper arm, and this polycap goes inside. Fit. You have a massive polycap that goes inside the arm, like that. And this will go on top. Okay, because that's the elbow piece right there. Make sure I get that in the right order here. And there's another massive polycap inside the shoulder. A lot of this will be hidden on the kit when it's all put together. You don't really have to worry about it too much here. I know this goes right here on the outside. And the rest of this goes inside the shoulder joint. Long piece goes on top. Long piece goes on bottom. Here. They have you. Alright, I'm going to talk about this right now. Dry transfers on this kit. Most of the time I don't have too much issue with dry transfers on master grade kits. But this kit in particular, whoever decided to design the dry transfers placement on this kit at Bandai is a fucking asshole. I just want to make that clear. They have you putting a dry transfer on inside the joint, right here. I didn't mention this, but with the torso, this is probably one of the worst ones on the torso here. Let me bring it back out just to show you here. What they want you to do And even though I'm pretty well versed and experienced with dry transfers, this was incredibly annoying to do. There are 3 separate dry transfers all clustered together in one spot right here. That is a pain in the ass to do, really. It is. So whoever at Bandai thought that was a good idea, fuck you. Now to be fair, you don't have to do that. I totally understand it's dry transfers are an optional thing to do, so you know my complaining is probably gonna fall on deaf ears about that, but I do like to do the kit the way the Bandai engineers kind of design it to be done, what they recommend to do, and in this case, he made it awful to do in a few spots on this kit. So when you get this kit and you plan on doing the dry transfers the way the manual suggests it to be, just be aware it's going to be challenging. More so than the average here. Come on, go together. Oh, I want it to go this way, I see. There we go. This is also the first kit to have these Master Grade AGE style hands, which have appeared in a few other kits besides the AGE Master Grades. I know the Gym Sniper Custom has these same hands on it. Bandai reused these hands for that. I think they reused it on a few other kits too. I don't remember exactly which ones. But they are nice hands. They're very similar to the ones you see on the wing and seed kits. The only real difference is that these are slightly larger hands and they have the movable thumb on this kit. Stick that on here. There's your hand. And your wrist joint, which I've seen before, just goes in like that. I thought about chroming up the joints on the hand, but like I did with the Gundam Mark V, but I decided against it. I'm just gonna leave it this way. Let me see if I can get this together in a way that would be here. So these are all polycaps, thankfully, so I don't have to. Should be able to pull all this apart again. Like that. That. Left arm. Here's a left arm. Shoulder piece needs to go in here too. There we go. And this hooks in from the top, not the side, so you got to put it in like that. Of course, the hand's gonna fall off right now because it's not really secured in there. And I guess I could just put the outer piece on just to hold it in there. Fine, I'll do that. To hold the hand together. We can do about the rest of it. Or the right side. I thought for a moment I thought that was like F-Zero music coming on. I was like, dang it, it better not be. You know it's gonna get claimed. It's not. YouTube wouldn't do that to me, would you? Would you? Oh, it's funny, like with YouTube claims and stuff. I mean, yeah, I kind of have my run-ins every now and then with the claim system. It's gotten a lot easier for me. I'm a little bit more careful about stuff nowadays, but every now and then it's like, god damn it, I make the wrong call and I try to use music that I think is gonna be okay, and turns out it's not. Still, to this day, my Gunpla build video, the Aegis Gundam, still get claims on it even today, and it just annoys me. And sometimes I halfway think about just delete the damn videos on my channel, because every few months there's another fucking claim on the build videos for that, and it's just, god damn it, please, just, I get it. Maybe I'll just mute the entire videos, I don't know. But whatever. They're still there for now, until some other corporate copyright entity decides that, nope, your music, that video belongs to us now. Not that I was really making any money on the video to begin with. I mean, most of my videos don't really earn me squat, even when I do monetize them. So, not a huge loss. I mean, my channel's not really a money-making channel. It's not really designed for profit. If it was, it would be a lot more professional. Instead of amateurish, which... Nice thing about keeping amateurish is I can just do what I want. And you know what? That's fine by me. It's relaxing. I can just do what I gotta do. And be happy and be chill, and everybody's good. Fun. Where's my fun piece? There it is. I am putting the phone on the right way, right? I'll be down if I'm doing it backwards. Yeah, pointy side faces up. Yeah. I can get it on there. Is it supposed to be this way? Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, I did. Wait. Yeah, it should be that way. Yeah. What am I doing here? I did it wrong on here. That's what I did. It's like, wait a minute. Oh shit. How did I do that? That's why I didn't want to go on. Dang it. There we go. Yeah, that's right. Caught that. Why is the film on backwards? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. You know, I just kind of go through this sometimes because I generally know how everything goes together. But if you build dozens and dozens of kits, it's like you kind of already know Bandai's pattern when it comes to these kits. So it's like, oh, it's supposed to be like that. Why wouldn't it be like that? What else would it be? Alright. I would say this kit has a pretty nice looking internal frame. It's not the best, but it's pretty nice. I mean, like this here, there's really not a whole lot of detail on the inside of the arm here. A lot of it feels more like structural stuff. You got some detail on the torso here. Not a whole lot on the inside of the arm here. Yeah, what was the point? This is not the kit for people who love internal frames. It's just a match grade that looks good. That's all it is. As is the case with most kits. If you like internal frames, you're gonna have to stick to real grade kits, I would say. Think of like, what is a match grade kit that has like a really good internal frame? The ones that I've built so far. I mean, the Gundam probably wasn't too bad, but I wouldn't call it like real grade level of detail on it. I want to say the Hyaku Shiki 2.0 had a pretty good internal frame. But then again, it's the kit, the way the kit's designed to have some of its internal frame showing on the kit, so it kind of makes sense that it would look nice. Sazabi Verkaz has a pretty good internal frame, from what I recall. It's been a long time since I've seen the inside of the kit. Gundam 2.0, and probably the 3.0 Gundam by that extension too, is probably a pretty good internal frame. Don't remember how nice looking the internal frame is on the Origin Gundam. The Jogoog and Zaku 2.0 kits I think have pretty decent internal frames. And that's about... Actually, I guess, yeah... Maybe the Thunderbolt Gundam? I don't remember. This is something I mentioned before. It's like internal frames on Master Grade kits are just mostly just there for holding the kit together nowadays, not so much for showing off detail. Like, there's a lot of superficial detail on the inside of these kits, but nothing that's going to be like, wow. Like, if I want to be, like I said, if I want to be wowed by an internal frame, I usually look at the real grade line of kits. The Beam Saber here. Might as well just stick this together. Very... I always want to say it's like ice cream sandwich. Beam Saber. That's kind of what that is. It makes me think of an ice cream sandwich. It's the ice cream part of the ice cream sandwich. Get those there. And I'm just sorting a few parts out here because this is something that is interesting about this kit. Is that you have like two sets of skirt armors on this kit. There's not just one set of skirt armor, there's two sets. The front and back skirt armor, not on the sides. This interesting tune going on here. This is going to be looking over here for anybody wondering. It's going to be like that, and we're going to have, looks like this piece. I think it's this piece. Yeah, it's going to be this piece here. It's only going to go on one way. Straight up in there and pop back out promptly. There we go. Okay, it's in there. I want to pop itself back out. You gotta make sure it stays in there. And this, that one, this one. This is gonna have this piece on here. And that's gonna go together. There's a little tab on this piece that has to fit inside this piece here. And that's how they're supposed to stay together. Now, I've heard from many people that these things don't like to stay together very well. But they should move as one piece if they're attached properly. See in the back skirt piece, this hooks in like that. Is that right? No, I'm just stopping for a moment to figure this out because this is like super, this is like almost barely, I mean it's in there, it's not going to come out, but it's like, this is like super loose, like way beyond the norm, so I'm just double checking if this is correct here, because that's way loose. Oh, we have the stuff split between two pages here, so I gotta flip back and forth here. But yeah, I know these pieces attached to the back of the main here. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna go with it and see what happens here. Come on. What is this? It's supposed to be happy music. Whatever you define happy as, okay. Alright, this thing. Make sure I get this oriented correctly, because half the battle with Gunpla building is making sure your part is oriented the correct way, because if it's not oriented the correct way, you're going to have problems. Let's go there. Same I'm just gonna go. That. Yeah, this needs to go. That looks obvious to me. What is this weird noise they make in this video? This is kind of weird. Wait a minute. Is it? Yeah. Leave out a few steps on the side page. I hate this when like you have this pages are split this way, so I can't have it all on one side of the booklet here. I mean, I know I could have it off to the side, but it's like you can't see it, and but it doesn't change the issue. I still got to flip back and forth between the pages, make sure everything's together correctly. Like, Bandai, your next challenge in Gunpla building efficiency is making sure the manuals are organized just a little bit more efficiently. I mean, I know they already do a pretty good job the way it is, but let's try and get each section of the kit on one page, so you don't have to flip back and forth between pages here. So this is your hip mechanism here, you've seen on many other master grade kits. No surprise there. Let's see, this is probably should be this way. Because this is the front, this is the back here. And these pieces just go here. These are side skirts. I wish they would do side skirts with the rest of the skirt armor instead of like saving it for some other point in the manual. Like, where do they have the side skirts shown? Right here. Alright, that's all I need to know. Where the beam sabers are gonna be. Alright, let me stick this together here. That's gonna plug in on the side, and hopefully this will attach and stay put on here. Okay, that'll keep the back skirt stable. Get in there. Robot voice. Alright, gonna go wide here. Going wide. There, part back up here. Now we're on to the legs here. Unfortunately, it's going to be part of the manual is so wide, so wide, but you can't see it all on the screen here. I mean, I could And I guess I could zoom out a little bit here, but... And it's like, oh, you see this. I get a feeling people would rather maybe be zoomed in, looking at parts here, rather than be being so zoomed out. Why are you zoomed so far out? I can't see all the nice detail when you're zoomed out like that. Well, you have to do a compromise here. Between being able to see what I'm doing and being able to see the whole scene here. Anyway. Alright, let me see. So I can see on my parts here. They're the same thing as the arms. The legs are designed in a modular way. So modular is the key word with this kit. We want everything to be modular. This will be like this. Let's go. Okay. And that's just gonna. This is where the ankle armor attaches to. But this is a polycap right here. It's not really. It's only loosely attached to the polycap. And okay, alright. Okay, it's on there correctly. It's supposed to be oriented the correct way. Like I said, building Gunpla, half the battle is making sure your parts are oriented the correct way. If they're not, you're gonna have problems. Let's see. I did make one tiny modification on this kit, as I did drill out the hole on the thruster here, but this is a solid plug back down here, so I did drill that out just to make it look a little nicer. See, I am going to have to put some of the feet on here because there's just no way to have this thing stand without the feet. And yeah, I have to, yeah, it has to be attached to this because there's no way to get that on there. The foot attached to this heel attached to the white part has to attach to the back of the foot here. So there's no way to avoid having that on there. So yeah, just gonna have to have it like that. Not a big deal, not a big deal. And it looks like it's gonna be the same thing for the front of the feet. It goes on to the inside here. Like, there's no internal frame on the toe of this kit. It's just basic foot. That's about as simple as I can do a foot on this. Alright, so upper leg parts can be this and this. Where am I? Aim right there. Holy cap! Quite a bit of polycaps on this master grade. I do want to add. I mean, that's not always a bad thing, but. You know, it's like nowadays most kits will be focused more on having plastic on plastic joints. I guess this kit was probably just a bit before that. Okay, a little. It was showing off a little backwards in the manual here, but I see how it goes. Maybe this was supposed to be meant for the other leg, but they look the same on the outside, so it's not going to make any difference, I can see. That. Right. Okay, that sounds like the Mario Underground theme. Somebody repurposed this for a techno piece here. Alright, that's pretty simple. Put the poly cap on, flip around, that, and stick this on. And that is your knee joint. I mean, hip joint. I'm saying knee joint. This is a knee joint. Where was this thing supposed to attach to? Oh, okay, I see. This is inside the ankle. Did I miss that? Oh, yeah, it's right here. It's gonna be like that. Right. No. And that'll go in like that. Attach the foot. Be on like that. Let's see, a knee joint. It's gonna be like that. I hope this is not a permanent connection on here. Alright, I mean, I can get it out. Again, it just takes a little bit of force. I didn't want that to be permanently locked in there. Okay. Let's check. And it's gonna go like that. At least it's good. Yeah, same deal as the arm. There's really not a whole lot of internal detail on this here. It's pretty Spartan. Really just more for structural stuff. It does kind of give you an idea of the possibility of articulation on this here. Stick that in here. I guess I could make a few comments about Gundam AGE anime itself here, which I did watch, I want to say I binged it about 2 or 3 years ago. I just kind of sat down and watched the whole thing. It's not a bad show. I know it has a few, definitely has some pacing issues, definitely towards the latter half of the show, which I felt like was definitely rushed. But for the most part, I felt like the first 2/3 of Gundam Age was actually pretty decent as an anime show. I mean, I know this simplified aesthetic was kind of weird for some people, especially coming off of Gundam 00, which was just before that. But I don't think it was really a bad show. I mean, there were definitely parts and characters I enjoyed in the show, but I think, yeah, it's like for whatever reason, towards the latter third of the show, things got kind of rushed, and I felt like the quality of the writing definitely, and the quality of the writing and episode pacing definitely went downhill in the last half of it. I thought all the protagonist characters were probably pretty interesting. Flit and Asemo, and I think it's Kit is the third protagonist, or am I getting their names wrong? I don't know, the three protagonists of Gundam Age. Flit is the first one, and then the blonde kid, ooh, I was... Asemo or Asemo? That doesn't make sense. I must be getting the name wrong. I guess I forgot his name. Whatever. I think Kitasuna was the... Yeah, Kitasuna was the third one. No. It's been a while since I've seen it. I think they all kind of had their pros and cons. Definitely, I think I feel like, yeah, it definitely seemed like the most character development was put into Flit and the second kid. I feel like the third one kind of got shafted a bit in terms of development. Because he was definitely the most boring of the Gundam Age protagonists. I'll put it that way. The least interesting one. But, you know, he gets to pilot 2 Gundams. He pilots the AGE-3 and the AGE-FX later on. So, he got to be special boy. Oh, how I wish Bandai would just make just give us the master grades of the AGE-FX and AGE-3 already, damn it. Because even though I may not be super popular of the super fan of, let's see, like I don't really consider Gundam Age as a top Gundam anime for me, but it's okay overall. But I still like the mechanics of the show, the designs for the Gundams and the enemy mobile suits and everything. I still like those. So it's like I would like to see the master grades for the AGE-3 and FX made at some point, because I want to see what Bandai does with the, especially the AGE-3, probably more so than the FX. Because, you know, I always have this sadomasochistic thing for transforming kits here. It's like, so I want to see what Bandai does with the AGE-3. Because it's a transforming Gundam kit, so I want to see what Bandai does with it. But I don't know, because they're kind of fun. It's like, what? Why do I focus? Why do I like Transformer kits on, even though they usually turn out to be crap sometimes? I don't know why. It's just interesting to see what Bandai can do, and if it works or it doesn't work. I like to see if it works or not. So, that's kind of it for me with transforming kits, and that's why I would like to see the master grade AGE-3 be made as a master grade someday. I know they had the prototypes. It's just a matter of Bandai just deciding, like, okay, we'll finally give in and make it. Maybe eventually they will, you know, it's like, you know, it took Bandai long enough to do a master grade Dio and Marsai, and those were prototyped long ass time ago, before the kits actually came out. Then they finally gave in and decided to make them. And I think I want to say yeah, I think they prototyped the F90 also a long time ago as well, before the actual, P Bandai Master Grade 1 came out. Okay, let's see, that's gonna go in there. Get in there. Why you not want to go in? Why no go in? Oh, because you have it oriented incorrectly. I say again, orientation is half the battle. You don't get your part oriented right, it won't go together. Yeah, so according to this should be the right leg. And the other one should have been the left leg, but... I mean, I guess it doesn't make any difference. I mean, I can swap them around, but I don't think it makes any difference in terms of the joint. Yeah, I don't see any difference here. You know how I make this a left leg? Just do that. See, now they're on the right side. Look, they're identical. They don't. There's no difference between these two. Okay, well, let me clean up my parts here. Then I'm going to do a few photos of the internal frame, and then I will build the rest of this. Is what we all want to see. We want to see the full thing. We'll put together. I have the weapons too, but I'm not going to do that again. That'll be for a final assembly. I'll put this together here. And here is the internal frame. Just to make out orientation here. I mean, of course, there are kits that do articulation better today, because this kit came out in... When did it come out? 2012? So, it's... yeah, it's almost 10 years old, I think. Depends on when it came out in 2012, but... I do like the these hands that come on the AGE kits. I think they're pretty well designed and decent articulation in them. I'm kind of glad they kind of incorporated some of that into the Gem Sniper Custom. The arm up layout. If this comes out, you can kind of rotate the arm up a bit like so, and then unlock it back in place here. It can tilt all the way back, all the way forward like that. I can already feel the back skirt coming apart on me. It's here. That needs to go just right there. And then this whole thing needs to go on here. I know I can't really show you this, otherwise it's all gonna fall apart when I do this, but that's gotta go over that and those. Okay, okay, I see. It does move. It is supposed to move. That's what I was wondering about. This piece here moves with the abdomen joint like that. That's a pretty cool detail. I was kind of wondering what that joint was for. And this needs to go up. That. Cool. Except for the part where I didn't get this piece in here. Dang it! It didn't stay in place. I need to pull this back out again. You're so close to greatness. This close. This close. Failed. I feel like I need sticky putty to hold these yellow vent pieces in, but there's nothing holding these things in. They're just kind of laying in here. It threw me off here. Now I gotta make sure this is oriented correctly. I did not expect this to be tricky to do. Wow, let me just start over again. Let's... really not stay in here. Like, it's so cool when I get it together and the joint in there and it all makes sense, and it's just like, then I get it all together and it's like, nope, it comes apart. Try again here. Oh, but now this time it doesn't want to go together. That's awesome. Why do you not want to go together? What are you stuck on? There we go. Alright, I think I got it that time. I can't grab the in here. Noise. Make sure that comes out. All right. Down. Okay, this might require a toothpick or something to make sure that stays straight in there. A little fidgety. It looks like I just had it out, but now I gotta have it out again. Because this has to go on here. Okay. It just kind of... Oh, there we go. Okay, it does snap in there. Just gotta put a little effort into that. And it'll snap in. Alright, so cockpit out. That'll come down. That thing comes up. And it's going to push back in. That. I'm just looking at it really carefully, trying to make sure it all goes together smoothly. Don't want any surprises here. Doesn't really seem to be any. It's just put together in a very interesting way, that's all. Just admiring it. Alright. Alright, so backpack, pretty straightforward. There is some nice internal detail on the backpack, I've noticed. Not a whole lot on the rest of the kit, though. Over there. There. And this is going to go on there. And this on here. I did paint the running lights on the spoiler. And that is the torso. Alright. Now let's get the head. Head should be straightforward here. It's a nice big faceplate on this kit. Like I said, this is probably slightly larger than what you're probably used to building on a Gundam kit. This is more closer to this standard RX-78-2 sized Gundam rather than, you know, the Wing or Seed Gundam kits, which are slightly smaller. And there is your head. Image. Eyes are a little hard to see because they're just kind of in there, but it's there. Again, it's a pretty nice looking Gundam. It's a very interesting head design. Alrighty, arms. left and right. Get the shoulder. Take this part here. Narrow, narrow, narrow. It's running away. This part going on first. Then this part. Blue piece goes on here, I know. Yeah, get on there. Get on. What are you doing? There we go. A little bit of tight fit for that. Let's see, that is in there, so this needs to go on top. So. This piece, looking at that, and this is the elbow pad, like that. It's going to go on like so. All right. Switch my hand pieces out for a moment. No, that should be correct. Hold on. Oh yeah, that goes on the other hand. That goes on the other hand. Where did I get these backwards? Maybe I got them mixed up here. That goes on that hand. Alright. No matter. We'll fix that in a moment here. And get the other hand. What? Oh. Backwards, yep, it only goes on one way. Orientation. It is an important thing, as I have said many times tonight. Alright, y'all are going to be in for a little surprise now. Because, as I mentioned earlier, the people who designed the markings at Bandai, especially for the dry transfers on this kit, are kind of dicks. And now you're going to find out a big reason why. Put these hand parts. Designated accessory bag is going to be this bag. Parts in there. So, if you build this kit, you will notice with the dry transfers, they have you putting a dry transfer over the seam on the arm here. Now, I don't have to be one to tell you that that is kind of bullshit. I generally do not like putting any type of marking over a part separation, because that's usually a bad idea. But you know, in this case, I will acquiescence, or I will go ahead and do it for the sake of the stream. Let me put it that way. The fun thing about dry transfers is it gets all cut up and it's a mess. It is E. You get 3 of them. It's been a long while since I've demonstrated how to do dry transfer on video, so why don't we use this as an opportunity to demonstrate here. Zoom in. Straighten this out here. So, you're gonna want some clear tape, preferably glossy Scotch tape. Probably the easiest thing to use. It's your hobby knife, and preferably a nice, good, hard rubbing tool that doesn't have a rough edge on it. I like to use the back of my tweezers here because it's hard and it's kind of rounded and smooth, so it's not gonna scratch the plastic or anything like that. So, all right, so you're gonna cut your dry transfer out carefully. Don't cut into the other dry transfers, or you're gonna have a bad time. Carefully cut that out. Hopefully it won't flip over like I just did there. Hopefully, I don't know if that showed up on video. Make sure it's flipped the right side up with the glossy side up. The matte side will have the actual dry transfer on it. You don't want to stick your tape on that end, because otherwise that's game over. What I'm gonna do is just pick it up with the tape, like so. Move that out of the way, and then line it up on top of the part here. You can't see what I'm doing. Make sure that is as together as possible here. my stream. Yeah, now it's not a good time for my stream to be kind of wonky. And just stick it on like so, and hopefully it doesn't move. So you have it on there like that. And then you take your rubbing tool, or if your preferred choice, and just kind of use some firm pressure. You don't have to go super heavy, and just kind of slide over it. Some people use a pin. I mean, that works too, but as long as it's not anything that has a sharp edge on it that won't cut into your plastic here, you should be fine. And there it is. There. Let me go ahead and do the other one. It'll be that side. It's like, I guess somebody at Bandai thought this would be a good idea to do this for some reason. I don't know why. You can't see what I'm doing. Told you to be able to see what I'm doing this time. Yeah, this whole thing is getting to be a mess now. Yeah. Getting this straight here. Hold on. Let me just take that, put that aside. Dry transfers can get messy sometimes. This whole thing is like... It would be nice if the dry transfers were like pre-cut. They were already cut out for you. So you wouldn't have to like mess around with this so much. I think I got that. The love-hate relationship with dry transfers is something you can only really appreciate if you've done Gunpla for a long amount of time. You know, I will make this argument that dry transfers are probably the best looking marking, but they are the hardest ones to deal with. Because there is so much that can go wrong, but on the one hand, it's like I do have like kind of a guideline on the part because of the seam here, so I can get it on here straight. And re-rub. Nice firm rub. Nice firm rub down. Sometimes you can kind of see when the dry transfer is on here, but because I'm filming this, I can't really look too closely at it. Otherwise, my head will just be in the frame blocking you. But this is actually a pretty easy dry transfer to do. The only issue, again, like I mentioned, what I have here is that it's on top of a seam line. It's not really what you want to do. That is on there. Let me get... Save my leftover dry transfers because you never know, I might need them for something in the future. You do get a fair amount of leftover markings with this kit, by the way. These are what's left over here, so... If you want to use these on another kit, you can, which I might do in the future. And get this foil sticker out of the way, which I didn't really use. But yeah, there's a fair amount of markings left over on this. I mean, you could use them on other parts of the kit if you want. Or just use them on something else. It probably will do. Now, one last thing I will do here is I am going to very carefully split this dry transfer here, just to ease of mind here. Let's see. Why we got no more music? Music. Hold on, music has stopped. just real carefully split it down the middle here, so just on the off chance that it's gonna part will separate just by moving the joints around, which does happen at times. Make sure it's split already so it doesn't crack, because that would look bad. Alright. Now we can zoom back up again. That's actually the wrong shoulder piece. This one's supposed to be on the other arm. Yeah, red's supposed to be on this side. Doesn't matter. Here we go. Alright, here's our arm. And then the fisticuffs coming out. Not the best connection of the fisticuff fingers. And it does have this joint right here. That was the upper arm joint right there. Stick goes in. Looking pretty nice so far. Probably one of the better, like, pseudo classic Gundam designs. I know there's really not that many, but I would probably say like the O Gundam from Gundam 00 is probably another similar quasi RX-78-2 derivative type AU Gundam. I know it's kind of a complicated term, like an AU RX-78-2 derivative Gundam, AGE-1 normal, O Gundam. Those are my two examples, so I don't have any others. Alright, so hips, this should be pretty straightforward here. I know that goes right there. Back. Alright, hold on. We'll check on that part in a moment. It must not be as obvious as I think it is. Let's go on the back. Boom, 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 boom. This week I've been binging on The Expanse. I think I mentioned it on my last stream on Mass Effect. It's actually a pretty interesting science fiction show. I've been enjoying it so far. I'm into season 4 now, which is mind-boggling because I started on season 1 not too long ago. I've been kind of binging it because it actually is kind of good. And I'm just like, it's one of those shows that just kind of, you gotta watch one more episode because you want to see what happens next. And it's like, okay, it just keeps going and going and going. And I would say the show is a little bit Mass Effect-like in some way, but minus, you know, having alien cultures and whatnot. But I mean, it's not like a lot of intergalactic stuff in The Expanse. It's mostly just, you know, Earth solar system stuff and drama and characters and political machinations and some action and mystery and weird space cosmic horror stuff happening every now and then. So. But I think the show is pretty good. I've been enjoying it so far, so it's kind of weird how they formatted the show. It's like the climax of the storylines happens in the middle of the seasons, and then they start the next series of story events in the second half of the season, which or they kind of do that for like the first 3 seasons. I think that they did something like that, and it's like, it's a little weird the way it's set up, but you get kind of used to it. It's like usually in the first few episodes or something, they'll introduce some character, and it's like, you kind of sit in there feeling like, okay, what does this character have to do with anything? It's like, they're just kind of there, and it's like the show will cut back to them every now and then. It's like, what does this character have to do with anything? And then eventually, you know, it'll make sense why that character was introduced, because they actually have an important role to play later on. It's that sort of thing, so it's a pretty well structured show. I mean, I have heard that it gets a little weaker in the latter seasons, and it's supposed to be in their final season now on Amazon, so curious to see how it goes. But yeah, by the time you get into like season 4, they're starting to get like interplanetary stuff now, so that comes out there. That's the whole something. Okay, I remember. This is not for the beam rifle. The beam rifle plugs into the slot right there, but this is for the dagger that the AGE Swallow has. Have you ever wondered why they call it the Swallow? I'm pretty sure they meant to say Sparrow, but I think it was mistranslated into Swallow for some reason, because Swallow is like not a word. It sounds like they meant to say Sparrow, which would make more sense. The AGE-1 Sparrow, not Swallow, because Swallow is not... It sounds like an English word. I swear sometimes Japanese companies need to have like an English proofreader on their teams to make sure they don't invent words that sound like complete utter nonsense. Especially in Gundam. I know I got a little off track there. I was talking about The Expanse and I got sidetracked by English. Okay. one more hour of this. Not that I'm trying to rush through this, it's just that I'm gonna need to turn my AC on. Because it's getting warm. It's like, what happened to winter? It's supposed to be cold, not hot. Why do I have a hot winter? That's... Damn you, climate change. Why are you making the summer hot? I don't want a hot summer. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Now there is a right and left on these things. This is my right leg, so I'm just gonna need to... I think it's this one. I mean, most of the parts are identical, but there is like one part on here that has to be oriented for the left or the right leg. So this part right here. This part is unique to the right or left leg. Everything else is mostly the same. I don't really need to worry about too much here. Let's see, so... I thought, yeah, I was talking about The Expanse. The Expanse is a pretty interesting science fiction show. So they have... A lot of it is centered around this, I don't even know what the time period is. I assume it's probably stated somewhere in the show, but I probably missed it, but... It's not exactly 21st century Earth or Soul Stone. I think it's more like 22nd century, if I would... Yes, but you know, the solar system is pretty well colonized. You know, Mars is pretty well built up. There are several colonies on the moons around Jupiter and Saturn. There are asteroid colonies in the asteroid belt and things like that. And there's a bit of there's a big emphasis on the classism between, you know, people who live on Earth versus people who live on Mars versus the people who live in the belt or the outer solar system people. So that's a big theme in the show that kind of comes up a lot, and that's where a lot of the politics shows up throughout the show. The other thing is a more science fiction aspect here, where they have this thing called a proto-molecule, which becomes a big thing in the early seasons, and it's kind of, it goes throughout the entire show, but is the alien Deus Ex Machina thing that exists in the show that can just bend the laws of physics, much to everybody's surprise in the show. It's kind of funny to see the reactions of people. It's like, it can move an entire asteroid. Wow. It can turn people into zombies, as we find out in Season 2. Under very careful circumstances, it can turn people into zombies. But yeah, it's like... So eventually this thing manages to terraform itself into a giant space portal thing. Just a ring that shows up in... at the end of Season 3. I know, these are spoilers if you haven't watched the show, but whatever. It's like, there's very minor stuff here, but I find the concept of the ring pretty interesting here, because it's like a pseudo-artificial space. It's not a wormhole. It's like an artificial space where it connects various points in the galaxy, or maybe the universe at large, I don't know, to other habitable worlds elsewhere. So it basically creates like a portal, a ring portal that connects to other ring portals, but inside the ring is basically this this interspace area that is controlled by this alien supercomputer thing called the station that controls the ring gates and can also apparently destroy other stars, apparently, as they find out at the end of season 3. But yeah, season 4 so far has all been about exploring the first alien world, so that's a very different tone from the rest of the earlier parts of the show, which is more focused about, you know, discovering and understanding what the proto-molecule is and all the political stuff that's happening around it. So, if you're into political stuff, there is a fair bit of that in the show. Let's see here. Yeah, this goes on the back here. Actually, no, this is... Okay, yeah, I see, this is going to attach to this here. So this is the short piece. It needs to go there. This is the long piece. Goes on here. And this goes on the back. So... I see, and this goes on front. That. This goes together. By the way, I know it wasn't mentioned this before, but this is a sticker. This black piece here, it's a plastic sticker. It's not super thick, but this is the only black part on the entire kit. Is this thing here, and then bam, I just gave you a sticker for that. So it goes on top of a gray piece that sticks in here. So it's gonna look like that. I'm assuming it's like a knee pad on this kit. That's the only thing I can think of. Is like it's a knee pad. So, anyway, it's the leg. It's all together. And nothing much to it. Stick all this back together here. That's your leg. I like all the little vent details on this kit. It's pretty nice looking. Something you don't see too often on kits. I kind of wish they had more like open vents like that. Here's your knee. The knee bend is very slight on this kit, but it's basically for the knee pad. And actually, you got some pretty decent ankle range on this kit. I mean, it's not real great God Gundam. I mean, that's gonna blow everything out of the water when that kit comes out, but in terms of articulation, but this is still pretty good. Bring the leg out here. But yeah, and characters and writing show pretty good. I'm enjoying that too. I think all the characters have been pretty good in the show, which I've enjoyed so far. I will definitely say my most enjoyable characters in the show thus far, at least in my opinion. It kind of varies a little bit from season to season, but definitely Drummer has definitely become a favorite. She was kind of a minor character in the first couple of seasons, but she's definitely grown on me. That's one of the more interesting characters to have on the screen, because you never quite know what she's gonna do. She definitely... The actor who was portraying her, Tara D, I think is what it is, I saw, but... Always interesting when she shows up on the screen, because you don't quite know what she's gonna do. It's like, is she gonna be on the... Well, okay, yeah, she kind of is on the good guy's side. It's just, she's very much... a very strong anti-hero slant to her. But other than that, I think the other character I really enjoy is Amos. Again, it didn't seem like Amos had much of a presence in the first season. He initially kind of comes off as like, dear God, this man is a violent maniac. What the hell? That's sort of the first impression you get of him. And then, like, as time goes along, you start to realize he's just straight up blunt about everything. He doesn't try to pull any strings. He's like the most straightforward character in the entire show. And is after a while of watching, I came to like a startling realization with him. He is basically Doom Guy in character form. I'm serious. He basically is Doom Guy. If you look at the way Doom Guy behaves in the Doom games, that's the way Amos behaves. He's like, no fucks given, he'll just do whatever, and he's, kill somebody? Sure, I'm fine doing that. You want me to kill him? Fine, I'll kill him. And the other characters who are like more reasonable are like, no, we don't want you to kill him. But it would make things so easy. But he's not malicious or evil about it, he's just like, like in our comparison in Mass Effect, he is like the ultimate renegade character. He's not evil, he's just super pragmatic about everything. It's like, and it's just entertaining to see him, the way he interacts with everybody. Like, he's not a leader, he just kind of follows whoever is smarter than him, because it's like early on he kind of realized that, yeah, everybody else can make better decisions than me, so I'm just going to leave the important decisions to other people, and I'll just do what they want me to do. Like I trust my crew and I'll do what the captain says and everything, but I'm not the guy to make the important decisions, so I'm just the gun. I will aim and point my gun at whatever they tell me to, and that will be it. And it's like, and he has no problem with that. It's like, okay, you want to fight somebody? I will fight you. He's very refreshing to everybody else who likes to be like cryptic in the show. I mean, there are some cryptic characters. Your politics stuff gets very, very cryptic at times. Probably as it should be. And it's really like, we didn't really get a whole lot about the Mars politics and what goes on in Mars, at least not until, only really in Season 4 do we actually really get to see a lot about what's happening on Mars. Before that, it's only the Mars Navy and Marines and stuff is what we get to interact with in space, and which doesn't tell you a whole lot about the planet, what it's like at the time. We're only going to see a lot of stuff in Season 4, which is nice to see also. At least what they do with that. Yeah, that's right. And the character of Bobby, too, is also... She was one of those characters that kind of shows up early on, and I'm just kind of trying to figure out, like, why is she important? What does she have to do with anything? It's like... But she becomes a pretty cool character later on. Like, early on, you're not really sure why the show is paying attention to this random Mars Marine girl, but she's like totally gung-ho and like, Semper Fi, like, whoa. But she gets to use power armor, which is pretty cool. So, but she becomes a pretty good character on her own, especially once she starts to realize, get involved in like the real proto-culture, proto-molecule conspiracy stuff that's going on. Then she starts to act on her own. Then she's really cool, because then she helps out the Roshi people, people on the ship. And she brings her power armor along, thankfully. She manages to get that, and then she's like, boom, I'm like the power armor girl, and she's like pretty awesome. And then, but unfortunately in Season 4 she doesn't have her power armor anymore, because she's retired from the army at that point. But maybe she'll get it back again. I hope she gets it back again. Out here. So okay, anyway, so here's the AGE Gundam. It's together now in its basic form. With the kick, leg bend. Maybe on the leg bend here. Next skirt on. This won't move too far. It's holding together so far. Except for this one's not holding together. Yeah, stay together. beam saber. How easy is it to pull that out? Okay. As far up as that'll look. Far down as that'll look. It is a nice looking Gundam. Its proportions are like thicker than what you would normally see in the kit here, but no, I don't really mind that. Alright, let me get the accessories together here. There's really not a whole lot of this, good stuff here. And then we can probably wrap this up here. We'll look at a few things before I completely wrap up here. Alright, well, shield, might as well do that, it's pretty easy. Shield is just the big pieces here. Probably the simplest thing on this entire kit is just a shield. Like how just suddenly eyeballed that polycap, just bam, right there. I knew where it was. It was the polycap. And that's the shield, not much to that. Yeah, the beam sabers, these are the, I think this is the first kit that had these type of beam sabers in it, but these same ones were used for the Gundam Age kits. Actually, no, I take that back. I think they were on the Exia. Was the Exia made before the AGE-1? I want to say, ooh, yes, I think it was. In that case, these probably were on the Exia first. Alright, the beam rifle, otherwise known as the Dodge rifle. You know, I forgot what DOD stood for. It's like every now and then I try to like remember what it's for. Like, I know it's like something orbital, something spin. It's some kind of weird acronym. I can't ever remember what it is. It almost sounds like something from Castlevania. Okay, I see what they're doing here. You do this in the order they have it here. So that has to go in first, and this has to go in. I did put a little bit of reflective sticker on the back of this here. I'm not gonna put the sticker on top of this nice green. I like this green plastic here. It looks really nice, so I'm not gonna try to ruin that by putting paint or a sticker on top of it, because it just looks really nice. I like that. I like it when you give it the clear plastic and color like that. I know some people prefer to have it clear and just paint whatever color you have. I mean, I will acknowledge the advantage of that. But sometimes it's nice just to have the plastic the way it's supposed to be. Let's see, this is supposed to go this. Okay. Yep. And a ball joint. There we go. In there. So in Gundam Ages, like Wisdom, and this is supposed to be the standard beam gun for the AGE-1 that it starts out with. The only problem I have with this is that it seems kind of obvious. This is incomplete when the show starts. It's like, is that supposed to be the way it's supposed to be? Like, no, that is the beam gun. And grab yeah, trigger hand. This one here real quick just to demonstrate the beam gun here. And how easy it is to get this thing on here. Oh, no, it doesn't seem like it's straight on there. But yeah, that's supposed to be the beam gun. And as you can see, it looks kind of incomplete. Like, it's obvious there's supposed to be more to that. But that's the gun the age starts with in the show. It's pretty obvious that there's supposed to be something else there, which is what the rest of this stuff is. This is the first thing developed by the Age Builder, as they call it in the show. What seems like the most obvious thing to do is to have a beam rifle upgrade. Because the Gundam is always known for having a powerful beam rifle. So why would you not have a powerful beam rifle? And that's it. The only thing kind of nice about this I didn't realize is that this little piece doubles as a scope. Right here. It doubles as a side scope. When you have in precision mode, or standard firing mode, like so. And then it's like that. And this thing acts as a scope. Pretty neat. I didn't realize that until I was actually looking at this kit a little more carefully. You know, once it all together, it's actually a pretty nice beam rifle. Shield. I do like what they did with the arm here, so you can have the shield mounted on the side of the arm instead of the back of the arm, which I much prefer. So you can have it like that. I prefer having the shield like this. But I do like that. Something I will occasionally complain about on certain kits is the way the shield is mounted. And yeah, that's it. That's the AGE-1 all together here. The only other thing I can show is the beam sabers, which is, you know, it's just, they're just beam sabers, not much to it. You have your short beam sabers and your long beam sabers. Let me see how well these stay in the hand. Alright, how easy is it to get the beam rifle off here? It uses a system kind of like with the 00 kits here, where you have like an extra mount into the arm. Oh yeah, just like with the 00 kits, the mount stays stuck in the arm. Oh, that's gonna be hard to get out. I gotta get it out of the hand first. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. Got it. Yeah, that's gonna be annoying. Alright, so how well does it hold the beam saber here? Probably not. Oh, I already have one out. Oh my god. So despite there being a slot here, there's really no slot for the beam saber to attach into. We just have to kind of assume it's going to stay in there. So, I mean, once it's in there, it's in there. It's a pretty decent grip. Yeah, this weird shoulder joint thing is gonna annoy me because it keeps coming out and being a little wonky. See if I can at least try for some kind of pose before we end the stream here tonight. This thing can do a pretty good leg spread. Alright, it doesn't fall over. I know you're looking at it from the top, so you can't really see it too well, but yeah, it's actually got pretty good leg articulation. I like this. Get that out here. Oh, yeah, I need to check something before it goes out here. Beam rifle, or dodge rifle, sorry. It's a beam rifle to me, what it is. Have a little pick on the back, just like that. Okay. Yeah. It's a pretty nice, basic Gundam. Honestly, I don't really have any real complaints about it. Yeah, there's some annoyance with the dry transfers on here, but that's kind of like an optional thing, but... yeah, it looks pretty good. Sometimes I kind of wish there was a bit more external detail, but actually not too bad, actually. I do wish the internal frame was a little nicer looking on this, but... it's good. It's good. I like it. Alright, well, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you for watching and listening to me talk about this and other things. I will do some photos of this kit over the weekend and hopefully get the review up on Monday. So I look forward to that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.